Lesson 67. Word order with
Nicht,
and.
kein.
Lisa, when we were writing this book, Brandon and I had to do a little bit of work on this lesson because we soon realized that with the word nicht or kein, it was affecting the word order. Could you take us through the word order here in this kind of sentence? Up to this point, we've had very simple sentences, but now we're getting a little bit more complex in what we're able to say, now that we're able to say direct objects.
That's right. So for this type of a sentence, you want to put the nicht at the very end of a sentence. That happens when you want to negate the whole sentence or the verb in the sentence.
As a beginner German student, what I would want to say is Ich habe nicht den Stuhl. I would want to put the word nicht after habe. So what would be wrong with that? How would that not reflect correct German?
So in the English sentence, you would put in the do not right in front of have, actually. And that is how you would negate a sentence like this. But for us, it's not the same way. Usually, just think of kicking the nicht to the very end of the sentence. But there's one exception where you want to be careful at. That is the one that he learned before. If you have a noun that gets the indefinite article and you want to negate that noun, you want to use kein, keine again.
But we're seeing this with the definite article and with ein words. We have Ich habe den Stuhl nicht and Ich habe deinen Stuhl nicht. Either way, if it's the definite article with the direct object or an ein word with the direct object, either way, the word nicht is getting put at the end of the sentence.
Oh, you really have to distinguish between the possessive adjectives and the indefinite article here, because they're not treated the same in this way.
So what if I wanted to say, I do not have a chair? Ich habe, would I say, Ich habe einen Stuhl nicht?
No, that would be wrong. So here, the nicht and the eine needs to kind of merge together into that kein word.
So that just turns into Ich habe keinen Stuhl.
That's right.
So you have a couple of different things to think about here. There's one other question I wanted to pose here, Lisa. What is going on with the English word do? Like, look at these examples here. The first example, Ich habe den Stuhl nicht. The translation in English would be, I do not have the chair. What exactly is this English word do? And why is it here? Like, I do not have. If we translated the German sentence literally, it would be, I have the chair not. But in English, we have this extra word that gets thrown in, this word do.
Yes, I'm not quite sure where that comes from. I remember when I was learning about the English grammar that it was kind of this little helper word that would help you with posing questions and negating a sentence. That's how we used to learn it in school.
It seems like kind of an extra word that doesn't really need to be there, but somehow in our English sentences, it just pops up. I took German 101 at the local community college a few years ago, and my German teacher said that the word do sort of is a useless word, and English would be a lot cleaner if it didn't have it.
Yeah.
It's just an extra word that really doesn't do anything.
It's true, but it sounds so weird without it, doesn't it? So let's have a look at some of the exercise sentences. For example, number 1, Ich habe eine Frau. So what do you think? How would you negate this sentence?
My first instinct would be to say, Ich habe eine Frau nicht. But that's not correct. What I need to say is kein or keine here because it's feminine.
Right.
So I would say, Ich habe keine Frau.
Very good.
Give me a tough one.
How about number 7? Ihr seid meine Eltern.
Okay, so in English, that would be, y'all are my parents, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here we have a possessive adjective, meine. So I would not say, ihr seid keine Eltern. That would be like saying, you are not parents at all.
Right. Too general.
It's specifying that y'all are not my parents. So I would say, ihr seid meine Eltern nicht.
Almost. You wanted a tricky one. You got a tricky one here. Pay attention to the verb. Here we don't have haben, but we have sein, seid, to be.
Oh, so I need to put nicht in a different spot. Okay, so meine Eltern is not a direct object. So I'll say, ihr seid nicht meine Eltern.
Perfect.
Okay, boy, that was a tough one.
Right. But I
You
think
sure
that
fooled
illustrated
me.
it well. That was a good illustration, though, I think, of how to do it.
Okay, so you have to think about if the verb is a verb of being or an action verb, and whether it's generating a predicate nominative or a direct object.
Right. And it will take some thinking at first, but after a while, when you've done it a couple of times, it will become more automatic for you.
Okay. Before we go, let's do one more. Let's see if I can redeem myself like a bonus round in a game show.
All right. How about number 10? Ich habe eine Katze.
Okay, so in English, that would say, I have a cat. To negate it, I would say, keine. Katze is feminine, so I would say, ich habe keine Katze.
Right.